Hey YouTube, it is the last week of the season. We're going to go over some Great League teams, including ones that I potentially got Legend with. And I'm looking at a new number 3 here. It's not yet in the game, but it is up to number 3. We'll look at that. We'll do a quickly beyond the hype just on the numbers with that first. And then we'll go over some teams that are in this ranking. So for the most part, except for Corsola there, the rankings have been the same for most of the season. A couple updates here I'll go over. Cloudsire's always been at the top with the Poison Sting buff. Mandibuzz is the best flyer in the game right now. For Alligator is just an OP safe swap. And then you have your buffed Gastrodon with Mud Slap. Azumarill is just super strong with the bubble buff. Diggersby just with the ground with so many poisons in the meta. Primeape got Rage Fist Community Day, so that's why he's up to number 10. But for the most part, the rankings have not changed. Some up, some down. Like I said, Clavable. I said if you watch my Beyond the Hype overrated, underrated at 3 months ago, I said Clefable in the top 5 was overrated, and here we are down at 15. So that is not surprising at all, especially with all the poisons and the Swift bait that is non-stab. Doesn't surprise, one of the best save swap, stuff like that. Yada yada yada. Corsola, this is coming into the game soon, and I'm guessing all the other content creators will showcase it before I do, but I will do a Beyond the Hype of this when I have a chance to play. Number 3 ranked. So first things first, don't love seeing the XL beside it. Level 50, 0, 15, 15. So not only do you need XLs, you need 296 of them with the rank 1 to get level 50. That is a lot of XL candy. 99 attack, 162 defense, 139 stamina, 2200 overall. So you are looking at a stat product that is comparable to your almost a Azumarill here maybe. Let me just check Azumarill stat product. It's giving me Azumarill vibes. Yeah, 93, 134, 190. So a bit better than stamina for 34, 38, 36 overall. But we are getting up there. 2200, a little lower overall stat product, a little less stamina defense combo there, but low attack, high defense stamina, which is in the Great League what you like to see because it allowed you to get to that sort of level 50. That gives you the sort of additional bulkiness traits. Bulky, not surprising. Now, why did this Pokemon jump to the top? Well, I think there's 2 reasons. One is only ghost typing, which means there's only 2 weaknesses, ghost and dark. And when you have a ghost and dark typing, you are also hitting super effective against the other ghosts. So it's not bad from that perspective. Dark, there is some out there. There's not a ton. I do have a double dark team because I think dark does work in this meta because there's generally there's Mandibuzz, there's Cloudsiire, there's Feraligatr, which you resist the claws at dark, and you can just do, except for the Azumarill, which is fairy, you can generally do neutral in a lot of these other matchups with Gastrodon, Diggersby, not the fighters. Even Jumpluff is, yes, it has fairy wind, but it's only a grass and flying, so you can do pretty good outside of the fairy. So I think dark has a place, but not a ton of those. Malamar, Mandibuzz are the main 2, and very few. And I guess you're seeing more Pekos now. But what this really strength is right here with the moveset. And we got 2 buffed moves here. We have Astonish, which is doing an insane amount of fast move damage, 4.8 damage per turn. Energy, not too bad, 3.33. So really, really hard hard-hitting fast move with okay energy. So if you're going to have okay energy, you want lower charge moves. And this is why the recommended moveset is Nightshade Power Gem. Okay, so it is Nightshade Power Gem. I thought maybe you'd go Rock Blast, but Rock Blast is a very bad move. So it is the quickest move at 40 energy, but it's only 50 damage non-stab, so 1.25. That's not a lot. And when you have Nightshade, which got buffed as well, you get same type attack bonus on it for 45 energy, doing 96 damage. Doing whenever you see close to 100 damage in a move, that's a really good move. And to have something with 45, 5-4, 5-4, so 15 turns. So it's Astonish is a 3-turn move. It takes 5 Astonishes to get to the first move. So 15 on the first one, 12, 15, 12. So on terms of the charge, it's not bad. I personally like to play with those 10 to 12 charge Pokemon, but you don't usually get to 10 to 12. If a Pokemon has 10 to 12 turns worth of the charge move, they likely don't have this stat product, right? Think of I said this is a Azumarill stat product. Azumarill is very similar. 15 to the Ice Beam, 18 to the Play Rough, 21 to the Hydro, right? So very similar in terms of that. And again, right here, Power Gem, only 50. So same amount of fast moves to get to the power gem on the first one. But then the second and fourth ones, you need one extra one for 5. And then this will give you essentially coverage, right? So if you do run into a dark or you run into a normal typing where ghost is resisted, power gem will hit for neutral, and it's a decent move overall. But yeah, whenever you see a Pokemon jump to number 3, it is something that you should check out. I will do it beyond the hype when I get it. I don't know if I have 296 XL candy, so I don't even know if I could do this, but we will see when it comes out. The second thing that you need to remember is the league turns over in a week. So these rankings may completely change. Stuff's going to get buffed, stuff's going to get nerfed. We don't know what that's going to be yet. So for right now, we will play in the moment. So these teams were obviously done in the past, so they will not reflect that new number 3. But, anytime you see a normal type on the team, you're going to have a benefit. If you see a dark on the team, it's a benefit. And then if you see like a psychic or another ghost, then you're probably a little behind if against Corsola. And then neutral is, we'll have to do some sims and play it out. Okay, team number 1. This was the number 1 ranked team on PVPoke, which is why you probably saw this everywhere already. It is Azumarill, Dugong, and Sandslash. And I think it was the number 1 ranked Pokemon because it is basically, I'm going to hunt for Clodsire to a certain extent. Azumarill, if Clodsire is running Stone Edge, if it's running Sludge Bomb, it's a bad matchup for Azumarill. But if it's running Stone Edge, it's actually a good matchup for Azumarill because they only have neutral charge moves, Stone Edge, Earthquake, and you have super effective fast and charge moves, Bubble and Ice Beam. So you have an advantage there. Dugong has the ice and Sandslash does the ice deal with Dugong. So I think this is why this was the number 1 ranked team for a while. Again, this was before Primeape had a community day and got Rage Fist and you saw more Primapes everywhere. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking about running this team, but this was the number 1 ranked team on PVPoke. Toxapex, Dunsparce, Drifblim. This is basically a balanced team that I think I put together. Yeah, because I really like Drifblim in this meta. But so you got Toxapex as a very, very bulky front Pokemon, great against Azumarill, which is, I think it was like almost a counter to that team, but like great against Azumarill, and not so quite because you're double weak to ice in the back. Sorry, you're weak to their double ice. Toxapex, great to Azumarill, but bad against ground, like any ground type, Clodsire, Gastrodon, stuff like that. So Dunsparce is your safe swap. Now, yes, Rock is resisted by ground, but if it is like a if it is a Clodsire, you have the super effective Drill Run. And then the back is your answer. So what answers ground? Flying type Pokemon in Drifblim to deal with that. Yeah, you are double weak to electric. Toxapex and Drifblim would be weak to electric. This was before probably more Pekko was out there too. There are some more Pekkos. I'm not going to say that there's none, but electric is kind of rough right now given all the ground that is out there. So it's tough to run it. This team was my, I called it Sableye with 2 bulks in the back. So Sableye lead, Shadow Sableye, because Shadow Sableye, in my opinion, is way better than normal Sableye. Basically, I would use Shadow Sableye as a lead or closer, and I would use Purified Sableye as a safe swap. That's how I played the different Sableyes. But Sableye lead, and then Dugong, Clodsire in the back. Both kind of cover each other's weaknesses to a certain extent, right? Because Clodsire is going to be weak to ground. Dugong, ice is super effective against ground. Dugong is weak to fighting and electric. Clodsire will do that. So a lot of the way I played this was if you don't see a fairy or stuff like that, you just kind of play out the lead and then you try and align in the back. And you have the bulk in the back. So that's what makes Shadow Sableye very scary in the front, is that you can use those shields on Sableye. That Shadow Claw foul play damage does a ton as the Shadow, and then align in the back how you want. Superior Dunsparce for Alligator. This is, I was going to say a balanced team. Like for Superior is weak to fire, and you have for Alligator back, and then Dunsparce is your safe swap. And for Alligator is weak to grass and electric, and Superior will deal with that. So pretty much a balanced team with Superior. Dunsparce as a safe swap for Alligator. Obviously for Alligator, super strong with the claws and hydro cannons, and Superior didn't get nerfed. It kind of went away with a bit, which is somewhat surprising given all the ground out there. But again, there's a lot more poison out there since that got buffed. So I think I've seen a little less of Superior. It really depends on your ELO range, whether you're seeing more or less of these Pokemon. Poison Double Dark. Poison Double Dark was one of the OG teams in GBL. Started with, I think, Nidoqueen Double Dark, and those Double Dark being Umbreon and Scrafty, if I remember correctly. So I tested it out, Toxapex, Malamar, Umbreon, and it works well. Malamar, I think I used Umbreon as a safe swap because Malamar could have problems against like just fairies, right? You did neutral sideways, but foul play superpower resisted, whereas Umbreon can at least hit with last resort. You can also use Morpeko as a dark instead of these two back Pokemon, but the concept is very simple. If you don't see, really it was a fighter back in the day, you use Umbreon to try and draw out the fighter, so that's why you can, instead of Malamar, you could use Morpeko. So both are weak to fighting, but either's fine. Wiggly, Dunsparce, Marowak. Notice a theme of Dunsparce as a safe swap. I think is a very strong Pokemon as a safe swap. And then you have Marowak, which is a really nice Pokemon. I think the Shadow is significantly better because of that damage you get with Mud Slap and Bone Club. Same type attack bonus, and then you get the Shadow bonus on top of that. It's a really, really strong Pokemon. You can like double shield and kind of out just spam a few things. And then Wiggly is Wiggly. You know what it is. Watch your poisons, but any neutral matchup, it's got some bulk. You can kind of take a lot of damage there. Drifblim, Diggersby, Pangoro. This is a sort of ABB, but not true ABB, because you have different weaknesses in the back. So when I say ABB, it's you have two Pokemon in the back that share that usually share typing and share a weakness, and you try and draw out that weakness and then punish it with the front. But this is not a true one. You are trying to draw out like a fighter, so I'd probably say swap Diggersby, try and draw out a fighter. Maybe you want to use, instead of Hyper Beam, use Fire Punch, just in case you see a Drifblim, safe swap. And then Drifblim will deal with the fighters, which is what you're trying to draw out, and then Pangoro will free. But again, you have you have different weaknesses here, so it's not a true ABB, and you could potentially run into troubles. Azumarill, Gastrodon, Talonflame. I think this is one that I showcased just right off the bat. I'm nervous as what your safe swap is, right? Talonflame is double weak to rock, and Gastrodon is double weak to grass. So if you use these as safe swap, you potentially set yourself up for an issue. But Gastrodon is a good Pokemon. Again, I think non-stab Body Slam is a little rough. And then Talonflame, there's a lot of ground Pokemon, so having a flying Pokemon is great. And then I went over Azumarill. And the last one, I think this is the team I had the most success with Primeape, because you need... Primeape is very glassy, so you need bulk, so Dunsparce and Charjabug. And then I had Charjabug in the back for the flying weakness of Primeape. So that is it. One team you'll not see on this list that you will see, first team I'm going to put out, got me from 2,500 to 2,900. And then the modified team in the Retro Cup got me to 3,150. And if you're new to the channel, you'll see that tomorrow. And if you're old, you already know what it is. And if you're a YouTube member... and a member, like subscriber, not just a subscriber, a member of the channel, you knew this team for a while ago because I gave it to you in the Discord members only chat. So that is it. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. You will see that very, very, very strong team tomorrow morning. So that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.